So I don't know if you can notice it, Mark, but I'm a bit white around my gills
Oh dear.
with the stubble that's coming up, and it's not because I'm trying to get ready for Christmas and become a Papa Noel
Eh,
somewhere. It's because I hurt my shoulder and I use my right arm to
yeah.
trim the beard back,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
for 3 days I've not been able to do it. So
Yeah. So you don't want to play Father Christmas and have
no,
people
no, no.
sit on your laps. Yeah. Okay.
no.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So over the last few days, I've been watching the female gymnasts floor exercises
Mhm.
in the 2024 Paris Olympics
Yeah.
on the telly
Mm.
um, from my treadmill at the gym
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because my shoulders hurt. I can only go on the treadmill now. So,
Mm.
and I'm not really taking great notice of female gymnastics before, so they had me as a captive audience for an hour as I wound down my time trying to get myself healthy.
Yes.
Right? It's an ongoing project, by the way,
Yeah.
getting myself.
We've all got that ongoing project.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I heard today that the 2028 Olympics,
Mm.
to be held in Los Angeles in the US, will be trans free. So the likes of Imaine Khalif won't be able to beat the 7 stars out of a lady Italian boxer again. Right? Well, unless Khalif can prove he's a natural she-male. Right?
Yeah.
All right, I might sound aggressive with my tone, but if they aren't a natural phenomenon, my tone wouldn't be half as aggressive as a bloke saying he's a woman to beat women to the ground just to get a medal.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm firm
Yeah.
with my
Your
convictions here.
statement. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. Yes.
Right, it's better to stem this in the bud before it gets out of hand. This thing about trans athletes and
Yeah.
you know the cycling association, I think, has got it about right by making an open category for their sport where anybody can participate. It doesn't
Mm.
matter their pronouns. It doesn't matter what the pronouns might be.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? If you can pedal a bicycle and you're like me, you're overweight, you can enter. And if you're a bloke trying in a dress, you can enter too.
Cycling for all. Good idea. Yes.
Right. So, was this change in direction by the International Olympic Committee a general consensus thing, or were they helped on their way into their now current position by advertisers, politicians, or society in general?
Mm.
Well, we've all seen the blunders advertisers have made by trying to score cheap points by associating their clients' goods to dubious people. I think you need to ask the likes of Bud Light, Jaguar, Rip Curl, and Disney for their answer to that conundrum.
Okay.
Or is it that the trans movement is falling out of fashion? Because now President Trump is saying keep men out of women's sports and things
Mm.
like this. So it's now being deemed too problematic for their worth, you know. Or did our friend Donald whisper in somebody's ear to cut it out this time round? Or there might not be an Olympics. Don't forget, many companies invest in the infrastructure of the games, and if the trans crowd don't fall under the umbrella of people we like to be associated with, then there's not much chance that the athletes' village will be built. And there is so much money flowing into the US at the moment.
Yep.
Now, to be fair, I don't think there will be too much pushing and shoving to make the transgender ban become official, as the new International Olympics Committee president, Zimbabwean Kirsty Coventry, is herself an ex-Olympic swimmer and is quite prominent in her defence of women in sport. She herself seems to be leading the call, if you ask
Mm.
me.
Yep.
So for me, me personally, if it makes Emain Biffa Khalif keep in their lane, it's all good. Who knows? An Italian might win the boxing gold medal this time round.
Well, okay.
There you are.
Right.
The
Um,
ladies.
yes. Something for the ladies. But it's a I mean, yeah, I totally agree that certainly when I'm watching sport, um, I enjoy watching sport like you do. If it's on, yeah, you watch things. And I like to watch good competitive sports, be it football, be it rugby, be it tennis, be it like say athletics. And I like to think, and yeah, obviously we watch the combat sports as well. Um, yeah, you and I sometimes complain about some of the men fighting. It's not,
The Western women. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, yeah, but okay, they are matched up with ability and everything else. When they've tried it in an MA, it's nearly ended in well, something quite traumatic. Um, I do honestly think that there are, yeah, technically there are differences between men and women, and I'm going to say this, certainly after puberty, and probably before. And yes, I'm a binary person. There's only two actual official genders. Okay, there are people, unfortunately, that well, unfortunately, so there's still people who are born with I'd say a medical condition because that's what it is, but that's not to decry them as people.
They are so few and far between.
Exactly. Yeah. And unfortunately, life occasionally deals bad things to us. I mean, you know me, you see me personally. I'm a big person. I should have been good at sport. I wasn't naturally that good at sport. I've always been told you're the size of an athlete, but yeah, I probably didn't manage to hit the right sport. Probably I should have played rugby or some other sport like that, similar to that. It never occurred. I was always quite good at running. But yeah, running's one thing. But if you're
Well,
not, you're
when
the
the
fastest person in the group. Yeah, yeah,
when the police are after you, you would be.
yeah. I was only happened a couple of times, but I do actually have a clean criminal record, people. And I wouldn't be able to move to Brazil if I didn't. Yeah. But does that mean I wasn't actually caught? But yeah, it is a. Be
Mark
careful what I
tells
say.
Mark tells me that he's got the British record for the 100 meters with holding a 50-inch plasma screen TV.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that. Well, no. Yeah, I'm not saying what just came to my mind. It's an inappropriate joke on that. But, yeah, I'm not living in England anymore, so that doesn't really matter. Um, but I'm a but yeah, I just wasn't good enough. Period. And I've had to live my whole life with that. Um, and but conversely, kids in my school that were faster than me didn't go on to become top flight athletes either. So, you know, there's a very small pool who actually make it.
Very, very small.
And that's life. Life is competitive. Um, we can't all get what we want out of life. And I've instilled that into my offspring as well. Yeah. Life is tough sometimes. Suck it up. Doesn't matter. Sport, life in general. Um, it doesn't matter if you've got loads of qualifications in anything. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to succeed. You've got to put effort in. Um, okay. Now, I feel very sorry, and given I do have a female offspring, um, that if my child wanted to be a top flight athlete, and she could have been possibly, or she could have had the opportunity to do and chose not to, that it's um, that I would not want her competing against a person with an unfair advantage. Um, even in yeah, I'm in my mid 50s, I could probably beat a lot of female athletes who train harder than I do in most things. But that's not to decry their efforts. It's just the way I am naturally built. They might have better technique than me, but yeah, I'm a big person. If a normal female runs up against me, they're going to come off second. Not that I'm advocating I'll do any violence against women. I'm not saying that, but I think you understand the point I'm making. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm walking along the street and I've had females bump into me, quite big, and still managed to end up there bouncing off me. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. That wasn't deliberate. And of course, I'm always apologizing when that does happen. Yeah. Um, but it is it is a natural thing. These people advocating this cross gender sport are the very same people who then in the next thing we follow the science.
Yeah.
Well, the science says, yeah, you look at a bone structure, you can tell there's a difference between men and women with the size of the pelvis. There's a reason women do an incredible thing, biologically women do an incredible thing by giving birth, by holding a child for 9 months and giving birth. That is a miracle of nature they perform. If it was left to us men, we'd probably cry foul of it a bit because it's a lot of pain and everything. I do think there should be the separation. As to why it's happening, yes, I think there is that all this is being called out. They realise the majority of the world population like to see men compete and women compete. And we respect the women athletes for what they achieve. Like you say, you watch the athletics, the girls that train athletics, and they go through a lot of agony to get there. It's very competitive amongst women to achieve what they do with the athletes. You can't just show up at the gym and just do beam work or something. There's a lot involved in it, and a lot of it's mental as well. And they can't have a loser mentality, and they're competing against women, and women are sometimes more competitive than men for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, the psychology of this. But yeah, I take my hat off to some of the things that women do that the men can't do in that respect. Certainly, but yeah, it's all across society now. Now, I'm going to look at the entertainment industry, but it's all connected with this ideal of men and women are equal in all aspects. There was a certain actress this week called Sydney Sweeney who had an interview with a man's magazine conducted by a woman, funny enough. Gentleman Quarterly, I believe that's still a man's magazine. And interviewer asked this actress, Sydney Sweeney, about her doing a clothing advert.
What?
A clothing advert.
Clothing advert. Yeah, yeah.
American Eagle. I'm not advocating. I don't know much about the company themselves, but and she did her job. She sat there. She did it. She showed the clothing off in an appropriate way. Yeah. It showed what it looked like, that the clothing looked like on females. Yeah. And she was draped across a classic American car. Well, not draped, but yeah, she's around a classic American car. I'm not quite sure who it was aimed at, but yeah, she did her job. She didn't apologize for being female, and successful at what she does. Now, whether or not she did enough, but I think she actually does some sort of sports, and she does actually work on cars as well. Her hobby is to work on cars, which most men might be jealous of, because most men, oh, I'm a car, So she's reaching into men's world, but she has a following of men doing car maintenance or restoring old cars online. Yeah. So again, it feeds into all this. Yeah, there's certain things that women and men can probably both do. Competing at the same level in sports is something they can't do. And that has to be acknowledged. Now, people say about the pay gap as well. I'm going to bring this into the side as well. Okay. Male footballers or soccer players, if you're an American or Australia, they do earn more than the women. There's a reason for that.
Women's on seats.